A little while back I got this Tombstone Lifter animatronic from Spirit Halloween 2009, but as you can see, the box is in rough shape. There's duct tape, creases everywhere, there's even Bears duct tape, which is really bad because I'm a Packer fan. But yeah, as you can see, it's in absolutely horrible condition. And this is what it looks like after the processes I've done in today's video. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So starting off, you're going to need some sort of a fabric steamer. This is the one I found. This is just from Walmart. You're also going to need some Scotch packaging tape. Any kind of brand should work as long as it's pretty clear. And then you'll need some sort of a glue to glue the seams together. Now I did this off camera because my box was already falling apart a whole bunch. But you're going to want to take the box apart and flatten it out. Usually a box for these animatronics come in like 2 pieces typically. So this is the first piece. And what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be taking some Goo-Gone, which is a like adhesive remover, because my box had so much duct tape on it, which I've shown in the past how to take that off, but basically you just use like a hair dryer or some sort of heating element. Not too much to like burn any of the print or anything, but just enough to heat up that adhesive to pull the tape off. And sometimes it leaves some little sticky residue, and that's what we're going to be using the Goo-Gone for. I'm just spraying some of it on the box and then wiping off that stickiness. Another thing to note is it might be a little difficult to get the adhesive from the tape to actually come off. You might have to put some elbow grease into it. And just like try and wipe it away. This does actually take off some of the print on the box, so doing it the lesser you can is probably better. So this right here, I noticed that the price tag was like coming undone, like the adhesive was failing. So just before I did anything else, I wanted to make sure that would stay on the box and not get crumpled up from me moving it around and stuff. So I'm going to take a piece of the Scotch packaging tape basically and just tape it down, and the tape basically looks pretty clear, so you can't really even tell that the tape's there. But I just wanted to make sure that you can see that price tag of what it was back in the day. With that being completed, I now took my steamer out of its box and let it warm up for a little bit. Warning, this thing does get hot, so you do not want to be touching where that steam comes out of. If you're doing this at home, be sure to have like a trusted adult there helping you, because you do not want to get burned by this thing. This next step is probably the most important thing to do when trying to fix this box. Basically, we're just going to take that steamer and press it onto the cardboard here. And what this does is that it introduces moisture into the cardboard, making it a little more relaxed, I guess. And it makes it easier for you to like conform it back into its straightness. If you were to try and straighten it out without any moisturizing like this, it would be very hard. You could probably put like heavy objects on it and let it like sit for days on end. But this gets the job done pretty fast. I don't even really weigh anything down on it after I'm done doing this, because the shaping itself really looks pretty good to my standards once I'm done with this. But I just go slowly around the whole piece of cardboard and just try to work in that moisture and press firmly on the cardboard itself, just for being able to kind of flatten it as you go. And as you watch, you can probably see that it is getting flatter as I'm moving along. You're really going to want to work on those edges where you really see like it bowing out. This isn't necessarily going to really fix any creases or hard creases. It's really going to fix the warping that is done by cardboard, where if you like put the prop in and it like barely fits in the box and the thing starts to like concave outwards. This is going to really fix that and try to get the box to be more straightened up. And you can see me just right there trying to just manually make it flatter. The top lid was really rough, I think. This was probably the roughest part, probably because the prop wasn't put away the nicest, and just had like parts of it sticking out of the box and caused the cardboard lid to not really close nicely. And this really gets shapened out really nicely after doing this. And again, you can see me here working on that crease where the lid meets like the side of the box. That's usually on these boxes where it gets worn out the most. So I was really trying to get that to all straighten out and make it a nice sharp edge. So here you can see the finished product on the first piece of cardboard that I was just working on. You can really see how flattened it is compared to the one that I haven't done yet. There's still a little bit of shapes in there, but overall it's pretty good. Like looking at the one I haven't done yet, the one that I just worked on really looks pretty good. Here I'm moving on to the second piece. There's this piece of cardboard right here that is really warped up, and I just time-lapsed it to show you how it really straightened out pretty quickly. Once you have your box all flattened out, the next thing is to really just fix any rips, and I do this by just taping up the rips with my Scotch packaging tape. Right here on the little flap, there's a little piece that got ripped off a little too far for my liking, so just patching it up with some tape, it looks fine. And I'd go around the whole box checking anywhere where any rips are like this. I would say rips usually happen where the box is opened and closed most often. Like you can see at the very edge of the lid here, there's actually two rips, one right where the flap gets flapped in to like lock the lid in place. So that's what I'm fixing right now. And usually I fold the tape over to the back side of the cardboard as well to just try and reinforce it. And then there's another rip that I just patch up with some tape. And the next thing we're going to do is glue the box back together. Initially I was using like Elmer's school glue, the glue sticks, but it just wasn't really adhering nicely. So I ended up just using some PVA wood glue, standard white glue. Any glue I think would work. Certain glues are like more for archival purposes, and I don't think I really need to be worrying about that just yet. So I think my wood glue is going to be fine. And I just dabbed it on here and there in case I ever have to take the box apart again. It shouldn't be that difficult to pull off the glue. And I'm just getting everything to line up, trying to do the best I can from what it looked like from the factory. And once this is done, I take my Scotch tape and tape the seam together over the top just for an added layer of protection, really. This next step is a little tricky, I must say. The first time you have to glue on when it's all flattened out is pretty easy, but when it's all like three-dimensional again, now you have to glue it, line it up, and then I'm going to tape it again. But you also have to make sure that all the flaps that like hold the box together at the bottom are positioned correctly, and different boxes are positioned differently depending on the manufacturer or whatever. So it could be helpful to have an extra pair of hands, someone else to help you, but I was able to do it by myself, so it shouldn't be that difficult. It's just probably just the most hardest part of this whole procedure. But here you can see me just trying to get the glue to line up and not get any glue on anything else, and then I'll eventually hit it with some of the packaging tape. But there is the finished product. I have to say it looks a lot better than what you saw at the beginning of the video, and hopefully this helped you all out with your old crumpled boxes. If you're someone like me and like to collect vintage Spirit Halloween items, you'll probably find out that if you are lucky enough to find the boxes, usually they're in somewhat rough shape. So hopefully this video helps you out. If it does, I'd appreciate it if you like the video and even subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. But that is all I have for you in today's video. So I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.